Well, last week we talked about the third principle of unity, and we discussed the word prosperity at length. That was quite a session in etymology, wasn't it? You were all familiar with etymology, right? The study of edamame. No. Etymology, the study of the origin of words. And as an author and as a songwriter, I've always been intrigued by that. But so we took a look at the word prosperity, and we found that at its root, prosperity means according to your highest aspiration and dreams. Isn't that wonderful to think about? And then we took it even a little bit deeper, and we realized that it actually means, could say, breathe forward. It's as if the breath of God is filling the sails of your boat as it sails toward the fulfillment of your dreams. Isn't that a wonderful thought? So I hope you all have been hanging out in that consciousness of prosperity, that higher place, and been just basking in the expanded feelings and thoughts of having your every desire and wish and dream richly and abundantly fulfilled. Even the English word prosper means to thrive, to succeed, to flourish. And it means, as we found out, it actually means to render happy, to make happy. So when we're talking about a consciousness of prosperity, what we're actually talking about is a consciousness of happiness. Anybody here want to be happy? Sure. Anybody want to be prosperous? Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So, but words are interesting. And, speaking of that word edamame, I remember when I first heard that word, and I thought, what is that? Anybody familiar with that? Anybody want to tell us what edamame is? Soybeans. It's soybeans. Yeah. Soybeans, an excellent source of protein and iron and omega-3s and vitamin K and B12. Soybeans have all of the essential amino acids that we as humans need. Didn't know you were going to get a nutrition session, did you? I bring that up because I grew up in central Indiana, primo farmland. I didn't grow up on a farm, but I grew up in the suburbs, and we were surrounded by cornfields and soybean fields, kind of like in Iowa, where Gene and Kathy Thaden are from, right? Because in Indiana and Iowa, yeah, and Rachel's from Iowa too, and soybeans, that was what you grew to feed the pigs. That's what you fed your livestock. And so imagine turning your mind around and thinking, this stuff that they feed to pigs, I'm supposed to be eating is good for me. So I remember when I first took on a vegetarian diet, and I made a fabulous stir fry for my dad, and it had tofu in it. And him being the meat and potatoes guy, I set it down in front of him, and he said, "What's this?" I said, "Well, it's tofu." And he said, "What's tofu?" And I said, "Well, it's made from soybeans." And he said, "Soybeans are what you feed to the pigs." But guess what? He tried it. And he liked it. He loved it, in fact. I was shocked. Have you ever been in that place? Yeah. Where you're saying no, 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 and then you try it, and it works, and now you think it's great? Or maybe you know of somebody who they're just saying no, 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 and then for whatever reason they say, all right, already, I'll try it, and it works, and it's the greatest thing since sliced wheat bread, and they just love it, and they can't help but say yes, 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 yes. Well, most people live in what we could call a closed system. A closed system meaning without any interaction from external experience or external ideas. A closed system meaning no input from other systems. Religion can be a closed system. Politics can be a closed system. Lifestyle can be a closed system for many people. Taking on habits of lifestyle that maybe their parents lived their lives that way, or voted that way, or believed that way. And so they've taken them on without really examining them or testing them or weighing them. They say, well, I just learned that someplace, maybe from a priest or a minister or a teacher or a parent or a guardian, and they don't really consider how they came to accept that or believe that it might be true. So they don't really weigh it or examine it against their own awareness or own experience, which is contrary to what the Master Teacher Jesus taught. In the book of Luke, Jesus says, you see a cloud rising in the west, and you know that it's going to rain, and it does. You feel the south wind blow, and you say it's going to be hot, and it is. You know how to interpret these kinds of things, like the environment and climate and things. Why don't you judge for yourself what is right, what is true? I say in my book, what do you think we have intelligence for? We're intelligent beings. We test everything. We test drive cars. We taste test the chicken salad at the deli. We test and examine things in our external material world. How much more so we should examine our beliefs and our thoughts, our patterns of thinking. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Dr. Phil said, how's that working for you? So how is it working for you? Ask yourself, do I believe things that aren't really in accordance with my true self? Do I believe things that maybe are holding me back? Do I behave in ways that are unexamined? Am I behaving in ways that are causing me trouble? Am I behaving in ways that aren't really me? I just took it on somewhere along the line, from somewhere, from someone. So many people are caught in a closed system, distracted from their own inner awareness, not really aware of who they really are, not really aware of a life far greater than what they've experienced so far. But the more that we open up to a system that works, a system of self-discovery, meaning the discovery of God and of life and of ourselves, a system of self-awareness, the more we find our true self. We find our true center of power, of energy. And as we do, as we open up, we become happier and more vibrant, more alive. And our experience of life is more dynamic and more fulfilling. And this third principle of unity helps us to open up to a system of self-awareness and to make that switch from a closed system to opening up to the God essence within us. It says, we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. Now on the top side, it speaks to us about positive thinking. And positive thinking is a great thing. Positive thinking can help to turn your mind around and help to shift your perception about an experience. I had to do that this last week. I don't know about you. Positive thinking goes a long way towards changing your perception of an environment you might be in. Maybe you had to do that this week. I did. Positive thinking goes a long way towards changing your perception towards a relationship or a person. It helps to lift your spirits. And in that higher place, you're going to be seeing things from a higher perspective. And you're going to be vibrating at a higher level. So, of course, you're going to be attracting things that are on a higher level. I know not too long ago, I was around a negative thinking person, and I don't mean to be rude, but our inner realm expresses in our outward experience. And it just seems like sometimes people that have taken on a habit of thinking that's negative, always saying no, 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 that their brow is all furrowed and their faces may be drawn, their jaw is clenched, they might be hunched over and tight because they're used to saying no, no, no. But when you're around a positive thinking person, you feel better, don't you? When you're around a positive thinking person that says, I believe in you, I love you, you are beautiful, you are creative, you are intelligent, you are dynamic, I say yes to you. Feels good, doesn't it? And I mean that, by the way. So changing the experience of our life doesn't just happen through positive thinking. It doesn't just happen by focusing on what we want to create in our reality. It requires an act of self-awareness. And this act of self-awareness means shifting away from the stories and the dramas of our lives that seem so captivating. Captivating is a good word, isn't it? You ever been around somebody that's just captivated by their health issues, just captivated by why their husband won't do this and won't do this, captivated by politics and how the world is blah, blah, and how they can't find good help in human. It's wearisome, isn't it? But this act of self-awareness means shifting away from the dramas and the stories and taking a look at the underlying patterns of thought. Our habits of thought about those stories and those dramas, those experiences and environments and those people. And we look at those patterns of thought and we find out maybe they're consistently negative or judgmental or critical or maybe even unimaginative. And we say, this pattern of thought isn't creating the kind of reality I want to have. And we begin to make choices and changes. We ask, what is a new pattern of thinking, a new habit of thought that I could take on in regard to this situation or this person or this environment that would make my life better? And how would I act if that new perception were true? So creating our reality through thoughts held in mind means diving a whole lot deeper. It means going into the deepest patterns of our thinking. And as we do, we find out that there's something underlying that thought. You can call it a motivation, an urge, a desire, an intention, an inner vibrational mantra. The psalmist said, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O Lord, my rock and redeemer." I like to say it like this. Let the words of my mouth and the inner vibrational tone of my life be in alignment with all that God is. And when we come into alignment with all that God is, then we can be co-creators with God. Let me speak to this phrase, we are co-creators with God. When I was in Nashville, I was privileged to write with some of the greatest songwriters in the country. And I remember my publisher set up a co-writing appointment for me with Rosanne Cash, Johnny Cash's daughter. I was a big fan of Rosanne Cash, always have been, and I thought, I can't even imagine being in the same room with her, let alone writing a song with her, Because when you co-write a song, I mean, you got to show up. I mean, you got to really be present. It's not like one person writes the song and the other person says, yeah, whatever you think, Roseanne. You have to be up to that level, right? And in the same way, as co-creators with God, we have to be in the same room, if you know what I mean. We have to show up. We have to be vibrating at that level, the same level as God. That means dropping the dramas, losing the stories, that false identity that we've created for ourselves, and taking back our true identity as sons and daughters of the all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful, all-good, infinite presence. It means breaking free of that closed system where our egos, that fearful little ego, has a chokehold on that life force, that God force, keeping it from flowing through us, and breaking free from that and allowing the essence of God life to flow through us. And as we do, we come into vibrational alignment. Our vibration is higher. We're more empowered. We're more authentic. And our experience of life is more fulfilling. As humans, we set the tone of our lives. We choose the vibration that resonates deep within us, that comes forward through our words. From deep within, an urge, a desire, a motivation, an intention, whatever you want to call it, wells up, causing the breath to vibrate the vocal cords, sounding in a tone that we give form to, and out comes the words, I love you. I believe in you. You're beautiful. You're dynamic. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so thrilled to be with you this morning. You felt something when I said that, didn't you? Felt good, didn't it? Felt good to me, too. Because I'm creating my reality right here and right now. Through my words? Yes? Yes. Through my thoughts? Yes. Yes. Through the motivation behind my thoughts? Yes. Through my breath? Yes. Through my tone? Yes. Through my vibration? Yes. Thank you for saying yes. That word yes has a amazing vibrational quality. It's a wonderful energy that's universally understood. And saying yes has a positive effect on your mind and your body and your soul, your heart, because it says that your energy is lighter and more joyful. Saying yes sends a message to the universe that says, yes, I am ready to enjoy prosperity in my life. Yes, I am ready to enjoy happiness in my life. Yes, I am ready to enjoy my life. So this morning I want to ask you, are you ready to enjoy prosperity in your life? Yes. Are you ready to enjoy happiness in your life? Yes. Are you ready to experience love? Are you ready to enjoy your life? Yes. Yes, may it be so. And so it is. Yes. Yes. Okay, last week we talked about the oak tree and growing strong, solid, grounded roots. So I'd like to ask you to put both feet on the floor and just feel yourself in your physical body being grounded. And just allow yourself to experience the breath coming up. And for those of us who are used to holding our bellies in, so we look nice and trim, I want you to just expand your belly and allow it to fill up, just like a balloon, filling some air. And take about 2 or 3 deep breaths.